Thank you so much for joining me on this supernatural journey of the Ordained Spouse series. This prophetic word is appointed times now, okay? Manifesting in February, March time frame. This is given to me on 8/28/2025. And this was given to me through a dream. And this dream connects with another dream. So that now is the time. Okay? It has a lot to do with inheritance, wealth, prosperity. It has a lot to do with your future ordained spouse. Okay? So, in the dream, I saw this woman walk in a store, and I knew, because I could feel which certain dreams, you just know things, okay? I knew she didn't have money in her purse, okay? In the purse that she was taking with her, because she had money in a different purse, all right? And her husband told her that she could use it tomorrow. He gets paid tomorrow. So this woman began to shop for clothes and saw that there was very nice dresses and a matching set that she wanted to match with her little baby. She also found a watch, and she also found that she some cream, and she placed those items on the top shelf. Okay? Now the clothing that she found to be so beautiful was luxurious clothing. It was made from silk, and it had some kind of like crinkled muslin style design, type of texture of the fabric, and the fabric was purple and green. And she planned to take them to the register and put them at the back desk, and to put them on hold because she was going to come back the next day. Okay? Because the money that she could use was going to be available then. So she took them over to the back counter, and she saw the other purse was sitting there, the purse that had the money. Okay? But she could not use it until tomorrow. And it was a Coach purse, and it was a brown leather Coach purse, and it had gold letters. The Coach letters were in gold. Okay, so then she had put some items on the rack and left the store because she was going to return the next day. I think the clothing, some of the clothing. So she went through the glass doors, and she saw it was daylight. That's key right there. That is very important, to have dreams and it no longer looks dark outside, gloomy weather. It now looks like daylight. That means you have entered a new chapter in your life, and you've entered a time of rest, peace, and prosperity. Okay? As she walked to her car, it was becoming night. Okay? Like the day went by quickly, and the sun was going down. There was a man and woman that was right outside the store, the mall, and they pointed to her car, and they said, "You have a flat tire." And the lady that pointed and stated that said, "Maybe it's just an illusion that's a flat tire." And so when she said that, the woman that was walking to her car, she went with that, and didn't absorb, come into an agreement with the flat tire idea. Okay? And that's how you can accept a curse. I'm saying this in a side note. You can accept a curse over your life when you come into an agreement with something that you are stating for yourself that's negative, and or some negative comments that someone else says, cursing or cussing at you. You can, it will manifest into your life when you come into an agreement with it. That means if you get all upset, okay, you got to try to rebuttal back. And I'm not saying rebutting back in a professional way. You're doing it in a ghetto type lashing back. That's not the manner. Okay? You can walk away from it. You turn the other cheek. Metaphor means let them trip up again and insult you again, because what they're doing now is you're not coming to an agreement with it. Okay? You rejected it, but now they are cursing themselves. That's what the Most High tells us to do. All right, so let's continue with the dream. So this woman went with the idea that it's just an illusion of a fat tire, and she's not accepting it, that it is. And she said her husband needed to take the car. The lady that was standing there, her husband. And she was going to walk to the other stores just through the parking lot and wait for him over there. So this woman offered to give her a ride that was just literally 2 minutes away to the other side of the shopping mall. Okay, she got in and she was friendly. Okay, the woman was initially friendly, and she noticed, now she's driving a car, and she noticed that it was difficult for her to step on the brakes, as if the car was driving on neutral and it was gliding, and she wanted to step on the brakes, and it was very difficult to press on it, right? And as they were chatting away, suddenly at the corner of her eye, she saw the woman that she gave a ride dig inside her purse that she had in the middle, as if that woman knew, the stranger woman knew about the money that was going to be in her purse the following day. Like, knew that some prosperity was going to, come upon the kind woman that was giving her a ride. And suddenly, the woman driving stopped talking and stopped the car. The brakes worked. And she looked at her and says, "You were trying to take my money from my purse." And the woman tried to deny it and say, the stranger woman tried to deny it and say, "No, I wasn't." And then she said, "I saw you from the corner of my eye." And so the kind woman looks at her and says it in a stern, loud voice, "Get out of my car right now. Get out." And the lady got out of her car. So they stopped right in the middle of the parking lot, right? It was dusk at that time, and then I woke up. And so the woman was trying to steal the money out of the purse, but she was trying to steal out of the wrong purse. The one that she was carrying with her that didn't have it in that purse. Remember, the purse that had the money was left on the counter in the back by the register. That's the one that her husband left money in, that purse. Okay? It's in the store. Okay, so now, ironically, in real life, I was at an appointment, and there was a group appointment, and it was over, and one lady says, "I'm going to walk." She told the leader there, "I'm going to walk to Target or something," and because her husband has the car. Okay? And I just had this dream, but I didn't really make the connection until later. And so it was literally just down the road, so I offered to give her a ride. And when I came out of my mouth and I said, "I can give you a ride, it's just up the street there," and it was sort of on my way, the Most High said, "Are you sure about that?" And so she says, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine." But internally I was like, why did he say that? Why did he say that? It's just, can't I give it, she's not really a stranger anymore. She's kind of like someone that, I have exercise class with, so it's kind of like I kind of know her. Why would he say that? You know, I felt like the Most High was being a little too picky of who goes in my vehicle. I just didn't think anything of it. Okay. But you know what? The thing is, the Most High is like very, very picky. You're supposed to be set apart and consecrated, and right now he doesn't want you mingling and commingling and getting and allowing people into your vehicle, because when you allow them into the vehicle of your life, they're in your presence, they're in your essence, and they can steal essence, they can steal virtues somehow. And I thought that was so interesting and but vital information to pass along. Even though they seem kind, even though we just had a conversation in the car, somehow she was still trying to steal some virtues. I am not a witch, so I'm not entirely sure how that is even coming about. Maybe in later revelations, the Most High lets me know, I will be able to explain, but he didn't want me to give random people rides in this hour. Okay? So I want to break down what the interpretation is. Leaving a purse behind, okay, instructed in Luke 10:4 and Luke 9:3, if you want to look that up, symbolizes a call to total dependence on Yahuwah's provision rather than material security. It represents an urgent, unencumbered mission, letting go of worldly baggage to focus on spiritual priorities, trusting that Yahuwah will meet all needs. Biblically, someone stealing money from a purse represents spiritual attack, violation of trust, or the influence of greed, often echoing Judas' betrayal and theft from the disciples' money bag. It signifies a need to guard one's treasures of faith and resources against enemy manipulation, while also warning of potential consequences like spiritual dryness, financial bondage, or hidden destructive behavior. Okay, so the wristwatches in the dream symbolizes time management. It could mean being time conscious, wasting time, or having a purpose. Taking action, making decisions, fulfilling purpose on time. Okay? And the wristwatch dream often indicates good luck, success, and prosperity. They can also warn of difficulties or the need for change. It means to keep awake, be vigilant, be watchful, keeping an eye on the world around us, and more importantly, paying attention to our spiritual condition. The dresses. Shopping for baby girl clothes often symbolizes faith, expectancy, and anticipation of a blessing or a new beginning. Anticipation. Okay? A point of contact. Prayers regarding fertility, a desire for nurture, or preparation for a new season or life and responsibility. A silk dress or garment symbolizes exceptional wealth, honor, beauty, divine favor, often reserving for royalty or high status. It represents luxurious, costly, and delicate materials, sometimes associated with Yahuwah's blessings upon his people. Okay, and so Esther 1:6, where white, green, blue hangings fastened with cords of fine linen and purple or silver rings and pillars of marble. The beds were of gold and silver upon a pavement of red, blue, and white, black, and marble. Okay, so there were curtains. The description of King Xerxes' 7-day banquet in Shushan. The single reference anchors Karpas in a scene of imperial opulence that forms the backdrop for providential rise of Esther. Hallelujah. So the flat tire, meaning of the flat tire means insecurity, delay, danger, need to slow down, or warning to prevent an accident. So walking through the glass doors signifies sacred divine sight. allows light to stream through, representing divine enlightenment, truth, and presence of Yahuwah. Walking through a glass door can symbolize moving from profane or mundane state into a profound, holy, or enlightened state. Okay, so a flat tire represents being deflated or lacking Holy Spirit, Draka Kodesh, which is needed in your life. But remember, it was just an illusion, right? Okay, so now it's referencing a dream I had on 2/7/2026. The Most High elaborates about how he is allowing you to use that purse that was behind the counter, the one that had money in it, okay, in this dream. So in this dream that I had recently, there is this woman on this platform, and suddenly this man was looking at her. Oh, let me backtrack. I'm sorry, I kind of forgot the dream. Okay, so she entered a room. That did happen, but it happened a little bit later. She entered the room, she sat down, and she saw somebody on a platform doing some kind of presentation. It looked like he had a lot of muscles, and he didn't have a shirt on, and he was doing some kind of like strength acrobatic training. Looked kind of like karate or something. And she thought, oh my, he's kind of showing off. And everybody was like, yay, you know, cheering. And she was just sitting there like, okay. And that event ended, and somebody handed her a note after the seed of that note is specific. Okay, so I need to explain that part. She went to another room. She's on a platform now, just looking around. She sees him now down below with a group of other people, and he's like big time smiling at her. And she's like, oh, that's the guy that was, you know, presenting some kind of performance at the other platform. Okay. And then suddenly he's talking to somebody like a counterfeit, and he breaks it off. Okay, like it looks like they're breaking up. She just minds her own business, and it's like, okay, and she's still up there on the platform. Then suddenly he's on her back, like she's hunched over to grab something, and he gets on her back like he's like her backpack. Although he's a really big man, but he's not heavy at all for some reason. Like it's light. Almost like the yoke of Yahusha is light. So carry the yoke of Yahusha, right? And he says he wants her. He's like, what is it going to take for you to be with me? I want you to be with me. I want you. I need you. And he whispers in her ear, even though other people are just watching her, right? And she's like, I can't, you know, I don't make enough money. And he's like, I will supply it. Then later on, the note comes in, and he gives her this note. Somebody gives it to her, and it's a note that says, get your nails done and buy yourself a new purse by 2/10. And she looks back, and it was surely he's smiling, and he gave her that note. And it was very unusual, but